We got a messy garage, and we got a little side mission today. We have two young men. We got my son and his cousin right there. It's Third Pedal Media, so we have our 2010 Altima Coupe 6-speed, and my nephew, he just picked up this, what was it, 2014? 2015 Q60. You know that weird time frame where that one guy came into Infiniti and totally like changed up the names for no damn reason? So Q60 and the Altima. Son using the Altima to go to school. Brakes are squealing, so we need to change that out. Nephew has been wanting to do some mods on his car. He bought the JRM pedal, and we got to throw that on today. I told him not to move the cars yet, and of course, young people don't want to listen. So pray for me, guys. I'm going to have the next couple hours having to deal with these two clowns. Let's rearrange this garage to work on these cars because outside's cold and I want to close the door. Get you guys a nice cold start with the motor down. I'm actually surprised that did start because apparently I did hook the car up to the charger. So that was kind of a miracle that actually started up. All right, great. We got them squeezed in. Oh, computer, turn on garage light. We got them squeezed in, got the doors closed. We should be working nice and warm. And for those that here the first time, thank you for clicking on the video. You are on the Third Pedal Media channel, and you're looking at Bay and Bay's luxury brother. Both very much manual cars. To take care of the red one, we need to do brakes, and my nephew just got the Q60, like I was saying. We gotta do some drivability mods. We really need to get rid of these wheels too. That's coming, that's coming. The first thing we gotta do, drivability. RJM pedals. This was one of the first mods I did back in the day. Hugely worth it. Drivability through the roof. And you can see this is a big head kid that's tall as heck. So he needs all the extra length and pedal and stroke he could get. Give me a sec. Let's get these cars situated. And the best part about today, I am not lifting a wrench. These two clowns here, they're the ones that are going to be working on their cars. So once again, please send your thoughts and prayers. I don't know what I'm getting myself into. Remember, jacking up the car, always be safe. Use jack stands and also use chucks so the car won't roll. Tweedledee and Tweedledum. Remember, look for the pinch well. Remember the pinch well, what it is? Oh my gosh. It started already. You see right under there, those little notches, that is the pinch well. I can't fit this big camera under there. Tighten more. Clockwise, tighten. All right, pump it up. All right, he's going to start doing the other side. Aiden, get your stuff set up. Come here, spread out your pedals, spread out all the parts and everything, and the worksheet. And if you want, you can put it on the floor. That's in the way, because you're starting already. You're working in here, and you're putting the stuff in the way. Now, I'm going to be very critical of these kids, so just know that. Look, set this up. Set this table up. pull out the legs.
Set the table up.
I don't know. I don't know, guys. All right, set your parts out. You're in the way. Why are you putting it in the way? Put it against the door. It's out of the way. We're working on two cars at the same time. The brakes went with the ceramic guys from, who was this again? I can't remember the brand. As a friend told me to get it. I can't remember. I'll put an annotation. And then the pedal assembly. The reason we go with the RJM pedal, the OEM pedal has an assist spring that's, the poundage is way too much. It kind of deadens the feel, and first to second gear shift, always awkward, always bucks. With the RGM pedal, it's a smooth, linear actuation and takeoff. And that's one of the reasons why it's one of my top drivability mods I recommend for any car. Xavier's car is on jack stands. I'm going to put him to start taking off the tires. Aiden's looking at the instructions on how to get everything out of the way. We have nice enough space. His big jolly green giant ass is going to have to fit somehow. We're going to see. What's going to happen is he's going to try to take this wheel off, and he doesn't know yet, but this is going to happen. Try to take the lug nut off.
Wheel's gonna spin.
Wheel's going to spin. Wheel's going to spin. Normally you break your lug nuts on the ground, but in this case, since it's front wheels take the bias off the most of the pressure, you can simply hold the brake and go brake all five. Yeah. So the brake meets are not that bad. They're low, but they're not too low. But the thing is, if you look, you'll see it here. You see those holes on top of the pads right there and right there? This is something that's a pet peeve of mine, is there's a spring that comes with these brakes that actually, it's not much strength, but it does hold it back a little bit when there's no pressure on there. And I believe because this is missing those springs, that's why we're getting the premature squeak whenever we use the brakes. And the best part is the new kit doesn't even come with the springs either. I'll try to get a picture of what I'm talking about with the spring, but what they do, they kind of hold the pads away from on the rotor. This car also has some little spacers on there. They look to be 10 millimeter spacers. Please do not run any spacers larger than 10 millimeter on your car on stock lug nuts. If you put in any spacer longer than 10 millimeters, sorry, if you put a spacer wider than 10 millimeters, always put longer studs. Right now I'm just laughing at Big Bird over here, squeezing up inside here trying to get this pedal stuff. Did you get the...
I did.
Okay.
Small nuts to get to.
It's comical. So this guy, with his big old head, has head tucked up on the right side when he's working on the left side. I'm like, dude, move your head over. He's like, oh, that makes so much sense. He sees so much now.
I can't do shit still.
Are you not getting the clip, the pin?
I'm doing my best.
Did you use the long pliers I gave you?
Yeah, hell yeah.
The clip is, well, yeah, it's on the other side. The hoop is on my side. Can't see the colors, I'm pull it down. So there's a pin that holds a peg, a dowel, right? And you pull the pin out, you get the dowel out, and you release the clutch clevis. You see what I'm talking about?
Yeah, we need to squeeze that like those two tabs.
No,
That's space, right?
there's a little wire pin. Just pull that wire pin out.
Oh, I started to pull it out, I don't have to squeeze?
Just grab the wire pin and pull it out from the round side.
Yeah.
And then after you can pull the post out and release the whole thing. You get it out?
Yep.
See? He reading the instructions and he still can't get it. I do not eat. I didn't even read the instructions. Just look at it and I can figure it out.
Oh, it's a hairpin. I thought it was a hairpin.
Now you pull the post out
I get it.
that I was holding it,
Mhm.
and now that whole assembly is loose, right? That clever spin thing, that fork. Beautiful. There you go. Yes, leave that right there. Don't lose that. Put it back in their car. Okay, good. Making progress. Now let me get with this guy in here. Okay. Get the bin.
No.
Get the bin. Okay, go work on that side since you're on that side. Get the bin, put it underneath because it's going to make a mess on the floor. We're going to get you some light. We need... the slow march.
What do you need?
Look at here. That's probably a 14. Get a 14 millimeter wrench in the back here.
First off?
So yeah, just take it out, crack the bottom one now.
Okay. Still pulling towards me?
So like I said, since the screw is facing this way, put your finger this way, and then you think righty-tighty that way, lefty-loosey this way. So go that way.
Oh, okay. So I was thinking correctly.
Fall to the car.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what I thought because it was upside down.
Yeah.
Well.
All right, now you can put the ratchet side and ratchet it out.
Yeah. Okay. I just wanted to double check with you.
So get this one loose, right?
Yeah.
The top one loose. Leave it in, but take out the bottom one totally.
Yeah.
And then what you could do when you do that is you could actually rotate the whole assembly up. Progress, but it's come up, so I have to illustrate how you have to think critically when you're working on cars. We have to remove the pedal assembly by removing the nuts on the firewall. And he grabs this.
Sure. 12.
Yeah, it's a 12. Yeah. But go down there and look at that and tell me what you observe. Don't sigh at me. Go down there and look at it and tell me what you observe. Take this out. Take this 12 socket out, right?
Yeah.
And then put this 12 socket over the nut and tell me what you observe. And once again, your big head facing the wrong side. Look left. Is that reaching?
See, I thought this was the wrong one.
You have a whole big pedal assembly, and he's just going in with a dry ratchet and a socket. Put an extension on it.
I thought I could do it wrong. I didn't. So what you were saying is that once I take the bottom one off, I can just flip it
Yeah, once you take the bottom one off, just grab and pivot it up.
Okay.
Hang it. No, push from the bottom.
Push from the bottom.
Sometimes it might be stiff, so it might need some persuasion. That's when you get a big screwdriver like this. You put it in here. All right, and you... Did you take this bottom screw all the way out?
Yeah, it's all the way up. Look, it's right next to my foot. It's right here.
Yep, that's the right one. And this one's loose?
That one's loose.
Yeah, it's loose. Okay. I guess since we mashed it, it kind of...
It's just really
Stiff.
stuck on there.
Yeah. My goodness. Okay, I guess take the top one off. It doesn't want to pivot. I'll just pick the whole thing off. Normally, I just like to flip the bottom over, hook the top, but I guess we just gotta put the whole thing off. So, yeah, rock. So, grab it there. See there? Shake it, shake it, shake it. Pick it up and don't drop it. Pick it and rest it on top of the rotor. Yep. You don't want that to fall and tug on the lines. Oh wow, you have stainless lines too. The previous guy, he has stainless steel lines for his brakes too. You see those BC coils? The first owner that had his Altima, he did it right. He did a lot of things on this. Camber arms, toe bolts, coilovers, intake, strut bars. He really did up this car. The guy we got it from, he did some fuckery. So it's up to us to let this car live on for a while and take good care of it. So that's cool. Stainless lines. That's a pleasant surprise. Now use the same screwdriver. Put the bin underneath because you're dropping brake dust on my garage floor. And try and
Just wiggle this out.
Well, no, not from there, because it can only come out one way.
Oh,
It can only come out forward.
so
No. Yes. I'm gonna teach these kids how to think.
just let it fall in.
Just take a look at this. This is fine. Yeah, it's kind of interesting. Let me see what Tweedledum over here is doing. We just checked out Tweedledee. Okay, what you doing now? What you have to do?
I was looking for these nuts.
These nuts?
Oh shit. I found one bolt.
Do you know what you're doing?
Yeah, there's 2 nuts and a bolt. I found 1 bolt.
Okay. All right, let me put this down and do some hands on. So we're messing with brake pads now. Xavier already switched out the old tired hardware. We see here for the new shiny bits, you already put one in one side. This already has shims on the pad. On the pads itself, you would see this angle piece. See this little angle piece on the end? This angle piece, are you listening, Xavier? So this angle piece here, this is the squealer gauge. This is what rubs against the rotor and makes that squealing sound. So see, so when the brake pad gets low, put your hand behind here so it'll focus. So when the brake pad gets low, the tip, like see the meat here, it gets down and the tip starts touching against the pad like that, and that's what caused the squealing and the noise. Some brake pads in the set, the pair, which is 4 pieces, only 2 may have the squealers. So pay attention, and you put one pad with a squealer on each side of the car, uneven wear. This set has 4 squealers, just like this one that we took off has, I'm hoping, 4 squealers, 2 on this side and 2 on the other side. So that's what caused the noise. He's put this side in. Since we have 4, just slap the other one in there. Well, while he's doing that, Big Bird hiding over here. See all of those red things? That's not paint. We have offered to the gods our blood, our car blood, our car gods, the car blood. He went ahead and dug his elbow on the PTM badge in the corner. I don't even want to try and rationalize or understand how the heck he did it, but he did. So now we got to patch him up and then start back on this. So we have 2 pads in. We have Big Bird patched up. Go ahead and put the rotor on, put one of the screws in. As the pad wears, the piston in the caliper pushes out. This is a single piston design, so only one side pushed out. Some of us, we have the Akebono brakes when there's pistons on both sides. Those 2 sides squeeze in. We're putting brakes with much more meat, so it's not going to fit over the 2 calipers. We have to push that back. This tool is used for the dual piston sport brakes. As you turn in these 2 paddles open, pushes the pistons back into the housing. We have a single caliper brake here. You can see here, that's a single piston. It's a big old boy, and it actually creates a clamping force on the brake pads on the rotor. So you see that? So that's how the brakes work. You have the rotor that's spinning, and we have our wear items, that's the brake pads. And that thing on top there is pretty much a hydraulically controlled clamp. As you press on it, it squeezes them together. So now we need to push that piston back in. It came out this much. We have to put that in till it's flush to fit over here. First thing you do is go under your hood. We need to open the brake reservoir. You doing all good over there? You seeing the 2 bolts you need to get?
Yeah, I'm checking out the first one.
Huh?
Yeah, I'm already getting out the first one.
Okay, and you see why I gave you that universal? Yeah. Let me see this. Let me see the wrench. Yeah. Let me see it. So the way it's placed is at an angle, so the socket's on there. We have our universal wrench, so he has the angle to work in and bring it out. Here you go. So find the cap, yep. Stick your hand in there, take that cap off, get the light. Is it low, or is it high?
Define low and high.
You see there's a line right here that says max?
Yep.
Is it anywhere close to max? Come over here, look over here.
Halfway.
Yeah, I can't see from this side. There's a piece
Come over
below.
here, you'll see.
It's on that side.
Okay, right, yeah, good. Thanks, Aiden. So you can see here where it is. We're below the middle of max, max. We're right in the middle.
Shit mid.
It mid.
Shit's
You
mid.
got jokes, huh?
Mid.
I need to get
I'm trying to learn these terms. These two idiots are saying all day. When we push that piston back in, fluid will rise. So as you're driving your car and you're wearing your brakes, fluid will naturally go down as the brakes wear. So don't top off your pads. Only time to really top off your brake fluid is if you have fresh brakes in there, because all the pistons are fully retracted. So if you look now, the pads are too thick, too wide to fit in here. So normally we open this up. And I take the old one. I like to take the softer side, put it up here. And we put that like here, and then we start opening it back up, screwing it back up. And when you're doing this, please be careful. Don't pinch the rubber seal. And then you slowly take your time and you tighten, which, as you can see, is pushing that piston back in. And we want to go all the way. All right, so that's bottomed out. So now when we take this, it should just slide right over. And it does. Let me get this. Now put that bottom one on, save, and tighten it. Don't over torque it, but tighten it good and snug and hard, okay? Both of them, top and bottom. We also squeezed the pedal, and that pushed the piston out, which lowered the brake fluid some. So we may not have to remove all the brake fluid. We'll squeeze this back in, keep it on that level, make sure it doesn't overflow. Put the caliper clamp back on. Can't think of the name right now. Press it again and see if we don't need to remove any fluid. We did find a squealer, pick up the one that was really low. So on this side, this one was really low. If you look, he is right there on the meat.
This was the accompanying one.
And this was the other side, really kind of close. So yeah, I guess they were worth changing. The rotor itself isn't bad. It doesn't seem scored up or glazed. Just uneven wear somehow, for some reason, on the right side. Also, I had to help Big Bird to get the whole pedal assembly out. Too damn big. We went ahead and bolted it. What's your hand there? This is the factory assembly. This is the factory helper piston and pin that just overcompensates and just take away all the feel and life out of the pedal. And this is the RGM assembly. It's unbolting it to fiddle this big old thing out with everything in is a pain in the butt. I guess the two-piece pedal design kind of helps going it back in. There's two that bolt onto the firewall under the is it the master? Yeah. The cable thing, and then there's the one that's all the way on top. Got transfer switches over, transfer a few things, and then we could put it back in the car. This guy's trying to figure out how to do this. You remember what we did on the other side?
Not really.
So, look at the tool, the brake tool. That's way too extended. Put that lever all the way to the tip. There you go. So that's pushing it back in, and then it'll stop. And you did it backwards. I said I wanted the smoother side against here.
Oh, whoops.
That's the rougher side because I don't want to pinch the rubber. Yeah, flip it around. Well, you already pushed it back in. So take it off. It should be all the way in. Remember, you don't want to destroy that boot. There's a lot of brake dust and a lot of grime and stuff it keeps out. How are you doing over here?
I forgot how to remove these things. I think I need them.
Those, yeah, you pretty much just push them out.
Hell no.
Yeah, they're just rubber gummies. Kind of rubber gummies. Just push them out. Let me help these kids. So we got everything switched over. We have the 2 switches, the bumpers for the switches, and the stop for the actual pedal. The instructions says we gotta adjust this all the way, the white switch all the way in. But when we actuate it, it's moving so little bit that I really don't know if that's enough. What I'm gonna do, we have a meter here, we put in continuity, and that checks for a complete circuit. Okay, so when you touch the leads, you get a complete circuit. What I'm gonna do, we're gonna touch the leads on the switch. If I could get it in here somehow. Hold it in for now with your hand. Aiden. All right, and okay, let go. All right, now actuate the pedal. Okay, good. So you see when the switch was depressed, the circuit was broken. We got no sound. We actuated the pedal. That closed the circuit. That tripped the continuity. So now we know that that's actually working. Although it's not pushing the switch all the way in, it was pushing about halfway. And halfway was enough to complete the circuit. So we know that's good. I just wanted to double check that. It took forever because somebody didn't listen and didn't pre-read the instructions like I told them to. And I told them also look at some videos beforehand to see if anybody has some tips and tricks because I've done this forever ago. Of course, they didn't do that. So we had to sit down and read the instructions while we're in the middle of it. We're leaving it at 75% right now, which is how it comes. This is version 3 something. We've got everything adjusted. Now is pretty much to test it out and see how it goes. Xavier, go and open the garage. This guy has to drive with the chair all the way back. Where's the keys?
Stay down there. Oh, you picked them up.
So pretty much, instructions say after you're done, that's much nicer. After you're done, put it in neutral. First, we're gonna see if the switch for safety, you have to depress the clutch. We're in neutral. Good. So we know our switches are in the right position, the top safety switch and the bottom safety switch. Note, you hearing that noise now, Aiden? Hearing that whirring noise? You wasn't hearing that before, right? No. Right. What with this pedal, with the factory pedal, it actually puts a preload on the clutch slave cylinder, and that actually is what I believe actually damages a lot of the CSEs really early. So if you come down here, you'll actually hear like a whirring sound. Now if I dip the clutch a little bit, the whirring sound goes away. All right? So that is, you're actually hearing the input shaft and everything like that just free spinning. The RJM pedals take that off, and I think that really does save the clutch safe cylinder. Now we need to see if it's going to go into gear without grinding. Yep, that went in easily. All right. Now, let's see how activation is. Okay, the activation is still a little high, but it's still linear. So we could adjust it. Well, actually, no, it's changing a little bit. So 75% may work. It's not bad. I'll have to let him drive it and feel it, but let's go ahead. Let's jump in. Let's get him to drive it and get his first-hand take on how the pedal feels.
Whoa.
Okay, slow down. Don't speed through the neighborhood.
I'm not speeding. Officer, it was
Okay,
me.
change.
Okay.
All right, slow down. Go back down. Stop. Don't go back to first. Stop. Run out of the road.
Stop sign.
These can't understand.
Stop sign for a reason.
I don't care. We never do that. Just stop. I'll go drive. Let's go the big way around. Slow down.
What's the speed limit here?
I don't know, 25, 35?
No, I'm good.
But that first or second feel, how is that?
I'm getting used to it. It's
Don't put your foot too much by that open fuse box. We have to put that cover back.
right.
But how does it feel compared to how it was?
It's giving me more feedback.
All right, shift. All right, stop. Go ahead, shift, drive. Shift.
Okay.
Night and day difference, right?
Yeah. I feel a lot more now.
Yeah. It's so much more comfortable. The drivability is so much better.
It's so different. I have to get used to it now.
Yeah.
It's a huge difference.
Go in there. It's RJM pedal. If you have a manual ZG Q in some cases, you have to do this pedal mod. Put in the comments if you guys know if this works on the the RZ34, the brand new Z model, but it's totally worth it. It's one of the best drivability mods you can do in a manual car. Okay, we're going on the road. We're going to try and bed these brakes in. How I like to do it, there's a couple different procedures. What it is, you're kind of marrying the pads to the existing rotor. I like to go around 60, and while you're going straight, you mash on the brakes really hard, not too hard, but hard enough. Constant pressure from 60 to almost like 10. And do that at least 2 to 3 times. I'm trying not to go to a complete stop with this fresh pads. There's a car behind me, so I can't stomp on brakes yet. And you do that a few times, 60 to 0, well, 60 to probably 10 or something like that, a few times. Get it down and get the brakes bedded to the disc rotor really well. All right, so I got these two clowns here. They got the rags. I got the G in here. My car was nice and clean and dry, but they needed to work on their car, so now my car is dirty. So while I got them here, we're gonna put some rinseless wash on here and give her a quick wipe down, park her back up. Let me know what you think about this weird vlog. It was kind of impromptu and silly. Hope you enjoyed it with the young clowns. Hopefully they were entertaining somehow. I have a few more gray hairs. And with that, don't forget to like, subscribe, share the content. Until the next time, guys, y'all take it easy.